Hey guys, how's it going? Shekhar here speaking to you from my beautiful home studio here in Chennai, my home office here in Chennai. So I posted a link on Facebook recently on how I actually suffered a panic attack and had a lot of sleepless nights back in the year 2015. Now I just want to share with you what was my experience. I know a lot of people can message me even on Facebook after this, telling me that they're experiencing the same. So I thought I'll record a video just to explain the rest of the content below. Now, if you're watching this video on Facebook or on YouTube, I recommend that you click on the link and go to the blog post, because in the blog post I've given a lot of insights about sleep, and I've done a lot of research on this, a lot of infographics which are apt for this particular topic. I've presented it there, and you can go through that entire bunch of research. But in any case, I just want to tell you my experience. My experience was I was working really hard. I was working late nights, going till 3, 4 in the morning, and sleeping like 4:30 in the morning, getting up at like 7:30, 8, back into the routine. And I kept doing this for many, many days. I would say for easily 6 months. I didn't realize because before that I was perfectly fine. Nothing of this, none of these things ever happened to me before. But after 6 months, one morning when I was actually traveling at like 3:30 in the morning, I just suddenly woke up, and with a lot of sweating and like a panic attack. I just felt like something surged through my body, and there was something wrong with me. And ever since, after that particular instant, for over 2 weeks, I did not get any sleep. I was actually awake, and I was trying to get sleep, and I had a lot of negative thoughts and anxiety coming in my mind. Things like I'm going to die and all kinds of stuff which I never thought before. Okay, because I was very positive minded before that. So it actually completely shut my systems down. Then after 2 weeks, I actually went to a doctor, a traditional allopathy, a regular allopathic doctor, who said, you need to take some, antidepressant pills and this and that. So then I'm always a believer of going the natural way. So I went to an Ayurvedic doctor, somebody who I knew, who was very reputed, someone who was not very commercial too. So he said, you come and go through a 7-day program. So I actually went through a 7-day complete body detox, panchakarma, and I was also not eating properly before this thing happened. So the doctor actually told me that it also had to do with a lot of what you eat. So what happened was, I went through that treatment, and I just changed my entire lifestyle for 6 months after that. So while I was going through the 7-day treatment, I started to get more into spirituality, reading. I was anyway spiritual before that. I was having a morning routine, but I was not taking care of my health. So I got more deeper into meditation, specifically mantra meditation. I was chanting, I started to focus more on chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. So by chanting the names of God, it really has an impact. Okay. I don't know, some of you may be believers, some of you may not be believers, but in whatever case, if you're able to, try it for yourself, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So when I actually tried this on myself and, got deep into it, I started to feel more inner peace, which I never had for a long period of time. So things that really worked, where one was I changed my entire eating habits. I've anyway been a vegetarian, but I started to focus on eating only foods that were, which were not too oily, not too spicy. I started to, tone down on my eating habits, started to eat more on time, started to sleep more on time, started to drink more water, and I started to meditate in the mornings. Like I'm talking before the sun rises, between 4:30 to 6. That's a very good time for you to do meditation, because there's a lot of studies and research that says that that particular time of the day is the best for any form of meditation and that kind of activity. So I started to do that, and slowly but surely my life started to turn around. I started to get better sleep. The negative thoughts started to tone down, and I started to plug myself more into podcasts and positive material, reading positive books, watching videos, rather than allowing my mind to wander. That's when I realized the power of the mind. The mind is like a monkey mind. Okay, so it can just jump from one branch to the other, one tree to the other, and it, feeds on negativity. That's one of the reasons why even newspaper, television, the minute you have a breaking news in red, everybody gets tuned. That mind is naturally tuned to go and check out negative stuff. So ever since I switched off, started to move away from newspapers, negative news, and started to focus myself on positive thoughts, spiritual thoughts, things more to do with reading scripture and things like that, started to change my entire outlook about life. I've luckily I've had a spiritual upbringing, so I just had to reinforce some of those practices back in a more focused way rather than just working day in and day out, just on my business. So I know many of you may be building internet businesses, and like in my case, I've been building an internet business for more than 6 to 7 years. And if you're a solopreneur, or a freelancer, or somebody who's building a business online, this is something you need to keep in mind, because many times when you're working on your own, especially from home, you lose track of time, especially with stuff that you really love to do. In my case, I love social media, I love the internet marketing, I watched so many videos, and I was working really hard, blogging, that I actually forgot about my own health. So what I would recommend all of you to do is, if you're experiencing this, try some of the remedies that I gave you all. And if you've not yet hit the brick wall, start changing your habits. Okay, start changing your patterns. And I would like you to go through that post on sleep, on so many benefits of sleeping. So in essence, you got to sleep for at least 7 to 9 hours a day. An optimum time is eight hours a day, and waking up early is better. And there are a few tips that I've given in the blog post on how you can get good sleep. And if you've been suffering from getting good sleep, if you've been going through the same kind of situation that I was in, I would recommend these few tips that I gave you, like meditation, drinking a lot of water, eating good food. If you're non-vegetarian, I would suggest that you switch to vegetarian, because the hormones released by animals at the time of death, when they're being killed, actually affects our brain. So, switching to more natural raw foods and salads and these kind of things actually has an impact on the mind, and it reduces your level of, anxiety if you're going through that. Okay. So vegetarianism, what else? Meditation, spirituality, and these are some of the things that really has worked for me. And I would really appreciate if you can share a comment below this video, or share a comment below my blog post if this impacted you in some way, and if it is had a positive impact on your life. Thank you so much. Bye bye.